Well, Donald Trump is taking a couple of steps off the campaign trail to tend to some overseas business. He is flying to Scotland, checking up on a couple of his golf resorts there. It's his first overseas trip since he became the presumptive nominee for the Republican Party. John Roberts is live in Turnberry, Scotland, with a look at all of that. John.
John, good early evening to you here from Turnberry, where they're putting the final touches on the resort in preparation for Donald Trump's trip. He will get on his plane in about 4.5 hours' time, wing his way over here to officially reopen Turnberry after some, what I must say, are spectacular changes to the course, dealing with the 9th, 10th, and 11th holes. We'll talk about more of that tomorrow. He'll be giving a press conference on that 9th tee right in front of the lighthouse. Wait until you see the view there. He'll also be talking about the Brexit, the so-called Brexit. People in the UK are voting today whether or not they want to stay in the European Union or if they want to go it alone. Very big news story today, and we'll likely hear from Trump about that. Earlier today, he was talking about money. In specifics, his FEC filing recently, where we found that 20% of the money that his campaign spent in May was to Trump properties for things like rentals, catering, that sort of thing. Donald Trump says he would have loved to have offered those facilities for free, but told Hugh Hewitt this morning that the rules just won't let him do that. Here's Trump.
They do stories saying that Trump receives, money from his campaign. Well, that's not the truth. I mean, the fact is I have to by law. I would love not to. I would love to just use my places and not charge. It's fine. It's better for me. I would like it much better.
He also talked about those fundraising numbers that were in the FEC filing, the fact that it only raised $3 million in the month of May and only has $1.3 million in the bank. He said that he doesn't have any worries about money in an online fundraising drive earlier this week in which he raised $3 million, then matched that with $2 million, and then this afternoon announced that he had forgiven the $50 million that he loaned to his campaign. He told Hugh Hewitt, don't worry, the money's going to come rolling in. Here he is again.
We're raising a lot of money, okay? When you saw that filing was for a very short period of time. And it was when we had just started, barely started. We had a day yesterday, and we had a day the day before yesterday, and we're raising a lot of money.
Here's some of what is going to greet Trump on Saturday when he visits the Trump International Course in Scotland in Aberdeen. A fellow named David Milne, who refused to sell his property for the golf course development, has erected a Mexican, or flown at least, a Mexican flag right underneath the Scottish flag in protest, in solidarity, he says, with Mexico. Don't know if Donald Trump will see that, but certainly the media here in the UK is putting that on the air. Here in Turnberry, there could be some protests as well. We understand that some folks on social media have been trying to organize some protests here along the road in front of the Turnberry Resort. And the Royal and Ancient, which is the governing body of golf here in the UK, announced after Donald Trump said those comments about Mexicans and about Muslims that they were not going to consider giving the British Open to Turnberry until at least 2022. It's been held here very often. Now, the RNA is not saying that that's in reaction to what Donald Trump has said, but certainly, John, a lot of people are reading it that way. Back to you.
All right. Watching the developments from Turnberry, John Roberts. John, thank you.